first thing I'm going to do is start off by flat ironing my hair. The important part is to get really, really close to the root because that's where you're going to be putting the tapes at. And I'm just using the chase method to go through all of my hair. We know what flat ironing hair looks like, so I'm going to go through and like 1, 2, skip a few. Voila, we're at the top of my head. Just make sure to wash your hair before doing this style. I didn't. That's why my hair looks really greasy. And I did notice that the tracks were slipping a little bit, but learn from my mistakes. So when parting your hair, you really just want to make sure you leave out enough around the perimeter of your head. So this includes the back and the sides. A trick that I like to use for the sides is to take a comb, put it behind my hair, and if you can see the comb, that means I didn't leave out enough hair. I specifically have to do this because I have thin hair, especially on the sides, so I just have to make sure I leave out enough. And I just parted my hair in kind of like a U shape, making sure I had enough hair left out at the back and on the sides. And then I'm just going to go ahead and braid my leave out all the way around just so I can get it out of my way. And then I'm going to go ahead and part out my hair. I decided to do a side part. The last time I did a middle part, and my hair is very short in the middle. So when I did a middle part, I wound up having to use more tapes, but doing a side part actually worked out a lot better for me because my hair is a little bit longer on the sides. The hair I'm installing today is from YWigs. All the information will be in the description box below. They sent me 3 22-inch bundles of their Kinky straight hair, so let's get into it. So before I even install the hair, I'm going through and flat ironing each track one by one. Not all of them at a time, but like as I do a piece, I'm going to straighten each one. I've seen people go through and like install it kinky first and then go through and flat iron it, but I didn't have time for all that. It looked like too much work, so I just did it one by one. Now I'm just going through and parting out the first row. This is going to be the first row where I'm going to be laying my tapes. And then I'm going to be dividing this row into like several 1-inch sections and laying the tapes individually. I'm starting by placing the first tape underneath my hair, making sure not to get it too close to my root and have it about 1/2 inch down. And once I feel that it's in a good place, I'm going to press it together with my fingers. And as you can see here, it's not too close to my root. And now I'm going to take the second half of the tape or the second piece of tape and just sandwich it or sandwich my hair in between the two pieces. But before I sandwich it, I'm going to make sure to line it up properly and to make sure I like where it's at. And once I'm done, this is what you should have. I'm just going to show you this process one more time. I'm just flat ironing each individual piece now that I moved on to the second one. And I'm going to put it at the bottom of my hair. And mind you, I left out a little bit of hair in between the last tape that I applied. But I'm just going to press my hair into the tape, and then I'm going to take the next tape and put it at the top and sandwich my hair in between the two tapes, pretty much. So this is what the first row looks like when I'm done. As you can see, there's hair left in between each tape. I did put these tapes a little bit too far down, but I'm just checking to make sure you can't see any of the tapes underneath my leave out. And now we're going to move on to the next row. So right now I'm just parting out the hair that I'm leaving in between rows. Last time I didn't leave any hair out in between rows in the back, and it looked a little cluttery to me, and I used like a whole bunch of tapes unnecessarily. Like I really didn't need all those tapes in the back. So I'm just, sprinkling a little razzle dazzle in between each tapes, and it actually came out a lot better like this. Don't mind my part. It's not perfect, but I'm not a perfect person. You get what you give. Okay, so somehow magically I am now near the top of my head. Now I'm going to start curving my part in a U shape towards the top so that the tapes can start to go in a U shape. So I can start laying the tapes in a U shape so that when I pull my hair up, you won't be able to see the little tapes. Now I'm moving on to my next bundle. Honestly, one bundle got me through nearly half of my head. As you can see, I got through a lot. And I only wound up using 2 bundles, really, not even like the full 2 bundles for this style. So now that I've reached the top of my head, I want to be make sure I'm leaving more hair in between each of the tapes. But this is also where it starts to get a little bit tricky because for me, my hair is like thin and shorter in the front. So I have to make sure I'm leaving enough hair out, but I don't want to leave too much out or I don't want to leave too little out or else the style won't look right. So this kind of took some time for me to, figure out, especially like this is my first time doing a side part. It took some time to figure out, how much hair to leave out on the sides and whatnot. So that's kind of like what I'm doing here, just to make sure everything is properly covered. Now I'm just going through and adding like filler tapes. So places where I think I need a tape or if I see any gaps, if I think it's uneven, I'm just going through and adding them. Again, I'm doing a side part, so it's okay if I have more tapes on this side because I have more leave out that's going to be covering it. But I'm going through and making sure everything looks right. So the style is now pretty much done. Now I'm just going through and putting on some finishing touches, like I'm going through and doing my edges. The style actually looks super, super like natural, which is the look that I was going for this time around. I did go back and add 2 additional tapes on the side, like on the side where my part is, because it looked a little thin over there. So the clip that you saw at the beginning of the video is my hair with those pieces in. But other than that, it still looks very natural and thinner and pretty. And I really, really love this hair. It's super, super cute. Now I'm just showing you what it looks like when I put the hair into a ponytail and into a bun. As you can see, it's very, very versatile. The little tapes move without a problem. You can kind of see them on the side a little bit there because of how I have my ponytail. But when I move my ponytail at a certain angle and brush my hair over it, you can't see it. But yeah, and also my hair is super thin. And I could have left out maybe a little bit more hair in the back so you couldn't see it. But as you can see here, like I was able to cover it just fine without seeing any hair left out. So I decided to throw some curls in this hair just to give it some versatility, to make it look like I actually attempted to style it and not just straighten it. But yeah, there was just some like soft loose curls. Honestly, it's my curling iron. As to why they didn't come out like super super tight. Had I used like a wand or a different curling iron, the curls would have came out tighter. But I was going for more of a looser look. Ultimately, I really love this hair like a lot. I love the texture is perfect for my natural hair texture. Previously, when I had tape-ins, I had like this silky straight texture, which was pretty, don't get me wrong, but like it just didn't go. It just didn't match my real hair like this does. Like this, like if you place your tapes in correctly, this hair will look like it's growing out your scalp. It's so pretty, so thick. Like I said, this hair is from YWigs. All their information will be in the description box below. But that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching.